next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and never stop dancing.
Yes! Oh, I am super duper excited for today. This is a special day on all kind of levels. But I do definitely want to thank you guys for coming on, tuning in. Welcome to Ask Nurse Jazz. And we have a special guest, Miss Lauren. And we are going to try to get these summer bodies right in the wintertime, y'all. So without further ado, let me bring her on. Hello, Mia.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Lauren. Lauren, Ask Nurse Jazz Village, Garner Your Health Village, Garner Your Health Village. Lauren.
Thank you for having me, Jazz.
Yes. So I'm just trying to get the Facebook group on so I can have a double screen. I'll be right with you. Okay, here we go. Okay, perfect. All right, cool. So, how was your day, beautiful?
It was nice.
It was nice. Well, y'all, today is Lauren's birthday. Say happy birthday to her.
Thank you.
How special am I that I get to spend time with you on Ask Nurse Jazz on your birthday? So I want to thank you for your time, Mia.
Thank you. It's an honor. I'm glad to be here.
And it is also International Women's Day, which I didn't know in the beginning of the day, but I just thought it was just amazing because we've been talking about being a virtuous woman and, doing what we have to do to, honor God, honor the people that we serve. So sis, like you were born on International Women's Day. Like how perfect is
it? Came first.
Your birthday definitely came first. International Women's Day was born on your birthday.
And that's okay. I'll share them.
Yes. So you gonna help us get ready for these summer bodies, ma'am?
I'm going to try. I'm in the same boat with y'all too.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay.
So I know. So Lauren and I, just to give y'all some disclosures, is that we are each other's food accountability if we don't know it or not. So we do a lot of talking about food, and it's not on some, glutton stuff, but we really hold each other accountable almost to what are we eating today? And that's, honestly, you have definitely helped me out in that area as well. So, wanted to shine light on the difference between diet and lifestyle. What you think?
That's a huge difference. And I think once people make that switch, it'll be a healthier relationship with food. So when your intention is to be more healthy versus a fad diet just to lose a couple of pounds for a certain occasion where you're trying to do it fast and it doesn't last, or it's not a healthy method to get to that point, you'll see the difference with that. But we're definitely food accountability partners. I'll be like, what's in your mouth right now? You need that. You need somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Because honestly, Jasmine, there's times in my day where I'm like, I'm not going to eat that because I'm going to have to tell her.
I'm going to have to tell her. I know. Same here. Yeah. Same here. So I'm like, oh man, I probably shouldn't pick that up. She's going to ask me what I bought from Aldi today. So I better not pick that up. But with that being said, though, it's left field a little bit, but it definitely helps.
It does.
So what I tell my patients, because a lot of times they come with problems, right? And I try to really enforce this lifestyle thing because it's we're habitual creatures. I tell people that all the time. Like we have to do things on a consistent basis, be persistent, and have a goal in mind. And that goal does not have to be pounds. You know, it can literally be, I want to feel better. I want to have, I don't know, regular bowel movements, you know, like those things, like pounds will shed off once you're eating together, once you know, so I definitely push for lifestyle versus a fad diet any day. I had a patient ask me today for a water pill, girl. Like legit. Like, I was like, wow, your legs swollen? She was like, no. I was like, well, you don't need no water pill. So clearly it's a water pill diet out there somewhere. I be finding out stuff from my patients.
And what you said is so key, where it's like whatever's going to last, that's what you want to do. So, yes. And I've heard before, it's not so much like, oh, this diet is one size fits all. It's never the case with that. But no. It's always more so, you know, what can you commit to? What can you be consistent with? Like that.
Right. Right.
Lifestyle, and everybody is different. And
everybody lifestyle different.
Even with like intermittent fasting, there's so many different things out there, even, you know, plant-based diets. There's so many different things out there, and it's not that they don't work, but it's just that you have to find what's best for you, because we're all unique individuals. So what works for me may not work for you, and it may have to do with our genetic makeup, but it may have to do with our schedules. You know what I mean? So where, you know, I might be more at where my job is a fitness instructor. You know what I mean? So my day may look a little bit different than someone who's at the office or someone who's in a hospital. So you just have to take into account all those different variables, and you're like approaching a whole lifestyle change and what works for you.
Right. Absolutely. And that is something, again, that I run into in the office all the time. Well, when will I have time for this? And when will I have time for that? And I have to really try to get them to know what matters. Like, you know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, and I don't ever want to be insensitive when it comes to people's finances, but it's just like, how good are they if you're not going to be here? Or how good are they if your quality of life is not up to par?
Right. It's an investment. It's an investment. Eating healthy is an investment.
Oh, girl.
We could complain all the day long about the rising cost of everything, but food is something that is a necessity. So why not you know, shop organic? There's ways and places that you can find discounts, and I mean, we know. So,
we got the inside.
You got to shop around,
right?
You got to look for sales,
right? You got to open up that circle, girl.
It's possible. It's so possible. You know what I mean? Like, just to really invest in your health, because you'll spend that money
elsewhere.
Exactly.
Elsewhere. And you know what I say all the time, Lauren? I'm like, so you eat out? Right. They're like, yeah. I'm like, you know that stuff adds. I cannot afford to eat out. Like, it's $20 a meal.
Not to mention tips, drinks, whatever else that comes with it. Like,
that's an easy $60 a day.
Yeah, I don't eat out.
I don't either. But you know, I mean, I think I eat out a little bit more than you do, but but I don't eat. I mean, I don't feel well afterwards. You know, like it's, you know, so yeah. But it's definitely something. So for the person that has a 9 to 5 off on the weekends, you can't pick out your weekend. Right. You cannot pick out your weekend, or you have to be very intentional about your meals. Right. So I wrote a meal prep book, Black Meal Prep Matters book.
Yes, go buy you a copy right now.
Yes. So and what it says is that is like you were saying, like everybody's schedule is different, so you have to make sure that you plan your, and honestly, like some people plan. So usually I make all my food ahead of time, and then, you know, I divvy it out throughout the week.
Right.
But honestly, I'm I'm not moving away from it completely, but like tomorrow I won't have enough food I won't have enough food for Thursday, right? So I took out meat today, because I know I'm gonna have to make something for so but it's intentional, it's a plan, in place. So I think
that's the main, and not to interrupt you, but that's one of the biggest things that I try to like really advise is the 3 P's. It's all about portion, planning, and prepping. When you have those things in mind, your book alone taught the art of meal prep, because it's so much easier for some people you're not supposed to eat past a certain time, which legit you shouldn't. Like no matter unless you work
like no later than 8, y'all. No later than really push for 7.
Unless you work overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like there's kind of exceptions, but most people you shouldn't eat past a certain time. So let's say, you have a craving or something. It's still about the fact if you're meal prepping, you might have something healthy that's already prepared versus if you didn't have that meal prep. You know what I mean? And you might pick
right, because that's what happens. People become hungry.
Because a lot of times when you prepare, you're preparing specifically for those meals in mind, where you're already going to have a set amount, and it also teaches discipline too, because you can't overeat or you're not going to have enough food.
Right, that's true. and going back to what you're saying, like, you then, so when you're hungry, your body naturally craves like sugar and fat. So because it keeps you fuller, right? Like that's just our natural like way of like, our cravings and stuff. So that's why people go for ice cream at night and they want the Chinese store in the evening. Like that's a thing. That's a real thing. So because that's what your body craves. So yeah, I would. So what's the 3 P's, Lauren?
Portion size, prepping, and planning. The planning and prepping is still 2 different things, because you know me, I'm such a planner. Like I will write out in a document my shopping list.
I love you for that. It's okay.
My shopping list to the different stores, because certain stores have certain things. Because that's the other thing, I have different dietary restrictions. I can't have gluten. I'm allergic to dairy. So there's certain stores that I have to shop for certain things. But I have my main store that I will go to every week. So in my documents, I have my shopping list, as well as I'm planning out what are the meals for the entire week.
Right.
And then go shopping based on
that. That's so good. That's such a good way to go about it. Which y'all do anybody meal prep in the chat? Do y'all meal prep at all? And what's y'all schedule? Maybe we can try to feed off of that too. So I have people like you keep on mentioning that people that work overnight, and their way of doing things is is different than mine, so where I'm going to sleep, they're going to work. So they have to think about it in a different way, or where I'm like, maybe you shouldn't go to sleep on an empty stomach, on a full stomach. They're like, so that looks like about 3 a.m. that I stop eating, so it's always different. Someone said I plan my meals in advance, but I don't necessarily prep on that same schedule. Right. So everybody's different. And then like you said, you have the diet restrictions. So for my diabetics, they can't have too much carbs or sugar. Or for my renal patients, they have different, restrictions as far as their diets too. And then if you're intolerant to things, so you just gotta kind of work. And that's what makes what I will say, that's what makes it hard, because it's not one size fit all.
Right.
I am walking distance from the supermarket and I work at home. Planning and prepping schedule is different than others. Yeah, right. So you have a little bit more time. And then someone said I have to start making a shopping list when I want to go to the market. I sometimes overbuy. I want to stick to what I need. I am definitely guilty of that. Like I will have a shopping list, and then if I pass something, I don't have. Yeah. So, So we kind of touched on that already. So what I did want to bring up too, I'll put a link to the book in the chat. What I wanted to touch on too, which you have to hold me accountable for, is that when I do the Daniel's Fast. So the Daniel's Fast is a biblical fast that restrict. Basically, you're a vegan without bread. So nothing with a mother, and you can't have bread, right? So I do this every every year.
To bring it
And it's such a huge shock to my body. Like, my body goes through it. But when I come off of it, I don't gradually come off of it. I just come off of it. So I want to know what makes my skin so clear. And I don't ever just come off of it to find that out. But I definitely want to restrict my diet to see what that is. So is it the gluten? Is it the meat? Is it the, so I definitely wanted to touch on that.
Even with my gluten intolerance, that was something that I've kind of found out the hard way. Just having really intense like abdominal pain, and my mom was actually the one that was like, maybe you have a gluten, and I'm just like, you watching Dr. Oz again? I'm just trying to live up gluten. That's like everything. Like it really isn't everything. Like until you have that gluten sensitivity, like you don't
right.
Because people would just think like, oh, wheat. Well, this is not wheat bread. This is white bread. Like, no.
Right.
It's still, you have to really go the extra mile and read everything.
Right. Because like you said, there's so many different things.
Right. And it wasn't until eliminating it that pain went away. So even now, there's times where I'll have something with it and I can tell because, I end up having a reaction, which I have always on hand some digestive enzymes, which I would recommend to keep. I guess it would be similar to like a Tums or something else, but just kind of more natural, like a herbal supplement to just help whenever you eat something that is not going to agree with your body. Some people eat it like right before they're eating something that they know they're not supposed to have. They'll have this.
Let me just prep myself.
Right, like just that. But yeah, people do. But yeah, so I found out the hard way with that, and then with dairy, it was weird because. For me, dairy, like the reaction for that was like a rash. So it was like itching. So it was just like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the first time I'm like, it can't be that. And it was like,
oh man,
bad. And yeah, it kept coming back like only with that. And I was like, okay, so it is that.
Yeah. No, I always say I'm like in denial. Like the only thing that I really still kind of like eat that's dairy is cheese, and I don't even do ice cream, and it's really just the cheese. Like I really try to stay away from it because my stomach definitely hurts from it. Like right. So forgive me, y'all, I'm just trying to bring up the book. But yeah, no, so and that's just what I tell people too. They were like whatever they call me all kind of stuff. Nurse Jazz. I ate this mango and I start breaking out. Well, baby, I'm allergic to the mango. But it's sometimes hard to know what you're allergic to if you
That's true. But one of the things that I know you and I always say is to just listen to your body. Because sometimes it don't even take a doctor. No offense. I mean, we love and need you in the community.
I know what you're saying. I know.
Certain things is kind of like common knowledge and common sense to just, if this happens when I do this, then maybe I should stop doing this.
Right.
So sometimes, but even too with listening to your body, that's why I mentioned earlier with the intermittent fasting. So if you're one where you wake up and your body needs that, again, like if you're more active and first thing in the morning, you need to eat something, don't starve yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes it may benefit you and it actually may help your metabolism to speed up by eating earlier.
Right.
So, yeah, that's
by
listening to your body and trial and error. So
right. No, and like my window was never in the morning. Like right. Like I have to have breakfast. Like I'm just not one to not have breakfast. I just don't. And a lot of times my workout routine is in the morning. So I can't sit there and like not have something to eat after the workout. I already didn't eat before the workout, so definitely have to eat afterwards. So intermittent fasting, if y'all don't know, is when you take a window of time to eat. So your window can be between 8 a.m. Usually it's like a 16 off and an 8-hour on.
Right. So most people do like 12 to 8. Most
Right.
like either the 12 to 8 or 11 to 7. That's like
Right.
popular.
Right. So, or people do the 1 meal a day, the OMAD. So, honestly, I got to give y'all I'm here to tell y'all what I do. So on the weekends, I don't have my meal prep, and that is my treat day. Well, mostly on Saturdays, that's my treat day, right? So I'll have a meal that I want, like Chipotle. And that'll be my only meal, other than if I work out, but that'll be my only meal. So I definitely, suggest that too. Definitely planning a treat day.
Oh, right.
That's definitely in the book too.
Can I piggyback off of that and even just talk about the intention of your language? So even the idea of treat, where some people try to say cheat.
Right.
So
right.
Okay, it's a treat day. So this is something that you've earned, and it doesn't have to be weekly. It can be something maybe when you get to a goal that you treat yourself. But to look at it like treat, like I had somebody that was like, "Oh, Sundays is my cheat day. I eat anything I want," and it's just like
you will mess up your whole week.
And that's how you start your week. Like,
right.
That was their Sunday. Like they literally like everything they want from sun up to sundown. And it's just like that is
counterproductive. You definitely gotta. Exactly. You definitely gotta
with the treat versus cheat. I wanted to also bring up our little coin turn of ceiling.
Oh, the ceiling. Do you want to share?
I want you to share it.
Okay. So y'all, on a weight loss journey, right? Or just becoming a healthier you, a lot of people state like their goal is to lose, or their goal is to have to be 200 pounds, right? And on your way there, you are meeting like, milestones or, goals within that time. So instead of saying like, my goal is 200, you reach a ceiling, right? So for instance, if you're 230 and you lost 5 pounds, now you're 225. Your ceiling is now 230. You don't want to go above that ceiling. So instead of my goal being 200, no, my ceiling is 230. I don't want to ever go above that ceiling again. So, and it helps with really awarding yourself and keeping yourself accountable at the same time. Because, just because you didn't get to 200 this month doesn't mean that you don't need to celebrate, because that's the big goal that you got under your
belt. Even with the ceiling, we talk about the idea of construction, because once you come on in here, somebody. So once you get maybe to 220, now that's your new ceiling.
Yep.
And we've had weeks where we like, ooh, child, we stuck in the ceiling. Like
my head is
renovations.
I'm in the ceiling.
I'm not going to renovate that way.
We can only go down from here. So that's what we say too. Yeah. We can only go down from here. So yeah.
It's so helpful because, like you say, sometimes it's not so much that it's in pounds. Sometimes it's in inches. Sometimes it's in energy, and sometimes it's your peace. Because if you have encountered or ever experienced eating disorders or low self-esteem or low self-worth that's attributed with the way that you look, you can get to a certain place where it's not your goal, but that peace that you have, it's like, I don't care what the scale ever says.
Right.
I want to be healthy. I'm going to continue to reach that goal. But if you have your peace, that is different than reaching the numbers on a scale that you desire to have, that you might not be in a place up here where you're even able to even enjoy it.
Right. No, that's so true. You're so right about that. And that goes into like what's your relationship with food, right? Hold on, it's a couple of comments. I'm always surprised by people who don't eat breakfast. Doesn't that slow up metabolism because your body thinks you're starving? So so the idea of intermittent fasting is that your body goes into a state of starvation and it burns this fat that only burns when you are in the state of starvation. So that's the idea. And it doesn't necessarily slow up your metabolism than to shock your system more so.
Right. That
You,
makes sense.
yeah. So that's not, but like Lauren said, it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's
And
not for everybody.
mentioning that too, Jasmine, that's actually one of the things in my research that they actually say if you have before suffer from eating disorders, that may not be a good lifestyle change to incorporate intermittent fasting, because if you came from a history of starving yourself because of that negative relationship with food, then that's not a good thing, because it could be a trigger, or you can go a little past your window and it's like, oh, if I can make it to, and I've done this before, you know, if you're fasting until 12 noon, but then it's 12 noon and you still haven't eaten, so you're like, well, then I can go to 1, I can go to 2, and your window's getting shorter, and there's nothing wrong with that, because again, it's helping you burn. But when it comes to the fact that you're not getting nutritionally dense nutrients, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
If you're not getting
having the right amount of nutrients in your diet, because that's still important too.
it's probably the most important. And one of the things that I even recently saw was the caution of talking about superfoods, because they were talking about how, you know, these foods are, you know, a lot of them have antioxidants and they have healing properties, but sometimes when they're pushed as superfoods, which there's no actual medical term to that, but when they're pushed as superfoods, people go out and like it's a fad, and they specifically only stick to these things without maintaining a balanced overall diet. So it's like, I'm gonna have my avocado because it's gonna snatch my waist, but I got this bowl of popcorn and pizza.
Right.
Too.
Why you bring up that popcorn? Let me read these comments.
Let me to my next book.
So the comment, that's a good way of changing the way of thinking. I think they were talking about the ceiling. Good way to think of things. Love this good info. Should diabetics practice intermittent fasting? It is hold that thought, Lauren. It is a lot of research out there. One of them is that no, they should not, because if a lot of times if you're diabetic, you
sugar can drop. The sugar can drop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to be careful about what you are eating, what food, what medicine you take, if this medicine drop your sugar, if this medicine, so you have to be careful about that. Another study stated that diabetics, I don't like that word, people that suffer from diabetes should possibly restrict themselves from like sugar in like one meal or something like that. Like they should not, like maybe they should do 2 meals a day or something like that, they were saying. And the idea was the shocking of the system, like, having your body like kind of have a not depletion, what am I trying to say? Basically, like you're teaching your body that it doesn't need that much sugar, basically. What I tell my patients is that they should not intermittent fast, because it is a lot to be someone that suffers from diabetes than to have to worry about skipping meals too. Now, if it's somebody that's controlled and they are not on medicine, and, with certain people that I was like, okay, because these people have proven that they are able to change their lifestyles and able to like, really get this food thing down with their sugars and everything like that. But for the most part, I advise against it. So Lauren, back to you. So we have to talk about the relationship with food and this popcorn, y'all. Lauren and this popcorn, child.
We have a love-hate relationship.
I just told her the other day, like, just give it up. You love it. Just embrace the love that you have for it, and it is okay.
Okay, so the backstory, the love story of this popcorn and I. I'm grateful of where I came to with it, because remember the day I was like,
I'm just not buying it anymore.
But recently where I was like, I got the revelation. So again, listening to your body, trial and error, and I'm grateful for this lesson that I learned from it. So popcorn is one of the healthy snacks that we do here, because we pop it fresh. So literally we put
Thank you again for putting me onto that, baby. Oh my gosh.
Listen to the ingredients. we coat the pot with avocado oil. We put in the kernels, and then we put on the top, and we let it pop, pop, pop. And then, then after it's done, you transfer it to another container. Then you drizzle the olive oil that tastes like butter, some sea salt, and nutritional yeast. Has so many B vitamins. It's so healthy for you. It's so delicious. It's supposed to be like a nutty cheese kind of flavor, but it's so
good.
It's so addictive.
It is.
I was
Lauren's popcorn is the bomb. That's the best way.
Through periods of wanting to overindulge in it because it was just so good, but then similar to sin, you just feel like, oh my gosh, why did I do this? I'm never going to do this again. And then you beat up on yourself, and that's not realistic or healthy either. So it was so much back and forth when I'm like, Jasmine, I'm just not going to buy popcorn anymore because Isaiah not eating it. So I will make popcorn. He's like, Mommy, I want to have popcorn. Then I make it, and he don't want it. And it's just like, okay, so I'm responsible for it. So I did a couple things. I only started making it when I know people are going to come over so somebody can help me. But the biggest game changer has been the idea of like, and this is with everything in life. And if some people are extreme like me, then this might help you, is you can't be an all or nothing. You have to, that's not discipline. The discipline is going to be from controlling your self-control. That's one of the fruit of the spirit. That's one of the things that you have to learn to grow in. You need self-control and discipline when you're on any healthy lifestyle and in our lives. When I see Nina on here, when me and Nina going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, when it opens up and it's dark outside.
Come on.
That's a sacrifice.
That is.
But like, you never are going to say, I regret it that I woke up early.
Right.
I started the whole day.
Yep.
Starting the whole day on the best note ever. Like, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel amazing. So you need discipline to be committed to a workout. You need discipline to be committed to eat healthy and, not just go with the cheap option or, go to the Poppy store and get a bag of chips. Like, it takes discipline.
It definitely does. And it takes consistency as well. Like, you have to do it consistently, and you really cannot compare yourself to the comparison is the thief of joy. You cannot compare.
Say that again. Some people didn't catch
comparison is the thief of joy. Like, what you do, Lauren, I can't do. Because guess what? Your schedule and my schedule are two different schedules.
Completely.
So we definitely hold each other accountable, but it is nothing. We have different schedules, so we are not doing the same thing. And that's what I tell my patients. Like, I have recently lost, some weight. And people asking me listen, I get up at 5:30 in the morning on most days. Like, I meal prep like it's a job, like in those.
You put in the work, and that's what anything. You have to put in the work to get results.
Right. And
it's going to take more than the initiation.
It's not going. It's insanity, right? You think you're going to get the same thing with like doing the same thing with different results, right? Like you have to change up what you're doing. So people are on this popcorn. Somebody said, please post the recipe.
Yes, make a video.
I did make a little video. I did.
Post that on the Facebook page.
I did, but we can definitely.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna post it on my YouTube.
Yes, you post it on the YouTube channel.
You gotta make popcorn.
Yeah. Huh?
Hell, you want to make me make popcorn?
It's your birthday, girl. Look, excuses. It's
not
your
30
birthday.
p.m. No. You won't
Okay. So, far as relationship with food. So I'll start. I am a complete foodie. So I am not one to say I am a pescatarian. I am a vegan. I am.
All are welcome.
I don't claim to be any of those things. I really don't, because no, I do not carry pork in my house. No, I do not carry beef in my house. I don't know what's the other stuff. Like, no, I don't buy lunch meat. Like, I don't do certain things. but I like hoagies occasionally.
Right.
I will go to a restaurant and have a steak. You know what I mean? So, but those are on occasions, you know. So those are things that I know I can have as a treat. So my relationship with food is that I definitely don't overindulge. I used to. I definitely don't overindulge like I did before. I definitely lean on satiety, right, versus being full. You know, I don't want to eat until I'm like sick to my stomach. And y'all, that's discipline too, because listen, the food is going to call you. And if you're a foodie like me, like it, you know, I'm looking up recipes and thinking of different things to make and stuff like that too. So that's my relationship with food. Lauren.
Yes. So, okay, so I was plant-based for a very long time. Really, I want to say I just stopped being plant-based like maybe a month or two ago.
A month or two.
But it's been a back and forth thing. Like there was a time where it was like completely plant-based, raw vegan, like extreme, extreme, extreme. Um, but I feel like again, you have to listen to your body. Sometimes there's nutrients that you may need in animal protein. And the other thing is a lot of times when we're on, so that's I will say that's one of the things I like about the coin term of plant-based versus vegan. Because vegan sometimes that's like, oh, you know, you don't eat any, you know, you don't eat any meat. And sometimes people say that you're not vegan unless you like don't have any animal products in your house. Like it's not that deep for me. Like, so I like the idea of like being plant-based because it's just like, okay, so the majority is, you know, the vegetables, the nuts, the grains. And even with that, it's more so that versus pretend meat. You know what I mean? Like I want to include more beans, nuts. So
when you say pretend meat, what you mean?
Okay, we got the Beyond Meat, we got Impossible Burger, we got Boca, Morningstar. I mean, listen, they done come up. They had Burger King now. They're everywhere.
They had KFC now. Did you see that?
Saw that.
I was like, now.
But it's in your name, KFC. What is this?
Burger King too. I mean,
people think this vegan chicken, so it's healthier. No.
Yeah, no.
It's breaded. It's breaded fake meat.
And they frying it.
Right, deep frying it. It's processed. And
that's another thing, y'all. Y'all have to definitely don't fall for the okie dokes. Like that's an okie doke.
It's vegan cake. I can eat the whole thing.
But I feel like that. Not far as you, like far as like being gluten intolerant. If you have a gluten, to me, I'm gonna speak for me.
Okay.
If you have a gluten-free cake, I don't think nothing's wrong. I had some gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, but that don't mean that your stomach gonna hurt. Like, you know, that I think those are like, I don't know. What you think?
Well, I'm just saying I don't want to eat the whole cake.
That's why no, please don't eat the whole cake.
Because that's what I'm saying. People will use that as an excuse. And again, like you said, it's for a celebration. It's for it's for everything has its season, everything has its time. So it's just one of those things. It shouldn't be a part of which some people, when they're doing intermittent fasting, or like you say, it could be on your day where you're having a 1 meal a day. Maybe, you know, that's something that you include. But I just feel like don't make that a regular thing.
Yeah, and please drink water, y'all. More water, more water, more water. And I left mine downstairs, and I'm really thirsty too.
I think it's better. I really think that your body feels it.
Absolutely.
Drinking enough water.
Absolutely.
And your, you know, and your energy level. And really, you're supposed to, as soon as you wake up, like before your feet hit the floor, it's best to start drinking water to start your day, because you know a lot of times people will make the excuse that like, oh, I'm gonna have to keep going to the bathroom if I keep drinking water. But the more you drink it and the more regularly you drink it, you
don't have to. Right. True. And then that's the cleansing of your body. That's a part of your body getting rid of like the waste that's in it. So for a long time, you know what a nurse's bladder is, Lauren? Did we ever talk about this?
I've heard that because I have other nurse friends.
Okay. So I definitely used to say that too. And I'm like, because my nurse's bladder and I'm going to have to hold it. And then I realized that I don't no longer work at the hospital anymore. Like I can go to the bathroom when I want to.
Right.
So it's different. So moving on, Miss Fitness Instructor. We talked a lot about food,
Yeah.
and if y'all have any questions, please throw it in there. But Lauren is also a fitness instructor. So she has a lot of insight about what it means to also incorporate exercise in her routine as well. So, Lauren?
Yeah, so I have been a Zumba instructor since December 2014. So this December coming will make
8 years.
Yes, that's crazy. And when
That is.
I never would have thought that this would be something that is like my main passion, my main job. Like, not only at different, fitness centers, but as well as like, in senior communities and even like virtual during the pandemic where like I'm able to provide pre-recorded sessions for seniors or whether it's through Zoom. And seniors honestly are like my favorite demographic because they're just so cute. But no, I really am passionate about what I do with dance. I mean, with my art background, I love, singing, dancing, anything like that. And even with so that's the other thing too. So my background, as far as my degree, was elementary education with a concentration in early childhood. So I was an elementary teacher for many years and then transitioned into fitness instructor and pursuing the arts. So I feel like as a Zumba instructor, I'm like marrying. And I just love what I'm able to bring to the table with it. And every time I teach a class, like to me, it's like a chance to be on stage and like, give all of me, and just hope that people really appreciate the experience. And I mean, I have a lot of people that are here on YouTube Live that I have definitely been a part of that and definitely keep me going. So, it's really a thing because you want to, give your best. And sometimes, people come and they're tired or you don't know how they really are enjoying a class. And it's just like, you still got to keep presenting your best self and make sure that you're having fun. So
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do. So I hope
you're which I shared with you before personally, you gave me an outlet for my dance, my dancing, like I just really enjoy your classes for sure because it just, like when else I'm not at the clubs anymore. Like I'm not, when else am I going to be able to dance? So, it's cold outside. We ain't have no cookouts or anything. So it's just such a great out. So I thank you for, providing that atmosphere, that stage in order for that outlet. And you're still working out and burning calories. I at least get about 500 calories burnt in your classes.
Okay. So. And I will say too that along those lines, as far as working out, you're the one that opened me up to toning.
Yes, come on in here, toning.
So it's a whole new world. And my Jasmine voice, seriously, like it's just one of those things where we went back and forth for a while because
we did.
And your authoritative style, I finally had to submit and say, you're right. Because this is before we found out about our ceiling. And I was just like, I want to lose X amount and I don't want to tone because toning builds muscle and muscle weighs more than fat. And I'm going to end up going up in my weight. And you're like, no, it actually helps you shed fat. Like it's not just weight. You're going to shed fat. You're going to continue to burn. You're going to, like, you convinced me that I did my own little research. And now, I have my own, and I actually enjoy it because when I'm teaching, as much as I enjoy it, that's still part of my job.
Yeah.
Versus when I'm toning, I'm able to like get in the zone. And this is something that's even a part of self-care where I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it to like better myself, to reach my goals and to, get there. So.
No, toning has been my baby for a long time. Like so toning to me is like working smart and not, I mean, it's hard too,
right?
But it's
not harder. Right.
Yeah, like that's just my, that's just my way of thinking in life. And it's just like, so y'all, so the difference between cardio and toning. So cardio, your workout ends when your workout ends. Your calorie burning ends when your workout ends. So once
Zumbaholics that want to keep dancing all throughout the hallway.
Right. So you like it burns, your burning stops. Soon as you stop, it stops, right? Soon as the treadmill stop, soon as the bike stop, soon as All of those things stop when, when the burning stops when you start working out. With toning, that workout lasts all day long. Every time when you feel your body, when you feel your muscles hurting, when you feel that's calorie burning.
Feel it the same day, Nina, right after we leave the gym, and I'm like, it's only an hour later. I feel this thing. And that's the best feeling ever.
It is
the best pain you could ever feel.
Yeah.
I'm doing something right.
Right. And you want to definitely make sure you have protein around your workouts. Some people do it before. I suggest doing it before toning. And then some people do it after. But so that's that, like toning. So I'm a Zumba strong instructor. I did not start my classes yet. I have to start my classes, y'all.
Coming soon in the spring.
Coming soon. I got like too many things going on. So, but I definitely like it married my love for dancing and toning. So I thought it was perfect to get my license certification in it. And yes, coming soon. Thank you, accountability. Thank you. Someone said, what are your thoughts on those pretend? Okay, so we talked about that. How often can you use plant-based food in your diet if you are on a weight loss mission?
Say that again. How often
can you use plant-based food in your diet if you are on a weight loss mission?
Okay, so that's a good question because it goes back into even the idea of what plant-based is really, referring to. So plant-based is really going to be your plants. It's going to be your vegetables, your nuts, your seeds. So really, even if you're occasionally having some seafood or some lean protein, just make sure the majority is, full packed with so many different vegetables. One of the things that we talk about all the time is colorful meals.
Yes.
Make sure your meal is like full of colors. If I can, I try to make sure that I have green in every meal that I have.
Absolutely.
Whether that's a smoothie, and there's ways to do it. There's way even for breakfast. So I mean, it's so typical for breakfast to be egg, sausage, pancake.
Oh my gosh.
Where's the health in it? I mean, that's a protein heart attack waiting to happen. Like that's not like that's a lot. Mm-hmm. So for breakfast, so even with Isaiah, his favorite breakfast, pancakes.
Isaiah is her son, her 3-year-old.
Yeah, pancakes and eggs, which he gets, sometimes on a Friday or on a Sunday morning, or Sunday morning, but it's not like all 3 days. But what I've been learning, because I used to, today for my birthday, I sat down and I had some pancakes and eggs with them. But it was the first time in a while because what I've been doing, and I've been really proud of myself. So I will make his pancakes and eggs, but when I make the eggs, I'll make enough for me, and I will use the scrambled eggs and have a salad. So just like you would have Game Changer, right? So like you would have a side salad. So it's lots of spinach, carrots. Sometimes that's it, but you can have walnuts, some nuts, whatever. Just a nice colorful salad. And just like you would have chicken, like grilled chicken in a salad, you have the scrambled eggs in the salad. This is so good.
It is good. I definitely copied
this. And you will be surprised at how much energy you have, how that feels. Like it's the best feeling to feel satisfied, but not like stuffed and full and regretting it.
Right. And what I will say too is that people are used to that feeling and they think that's what they're supposed to feel like. And it's like you gotta take a seat back, right? Like take a back seat, let your body digest it and see how you feel. If you're still hungry, then go and get something else. But a lot of times you're not going to be.
And I love that you said that because even tying that into even with relationship with food, one of the things recently, and my aunt is still on here, and she was the number one person like, Lauren, do you ever sit down when you eat? And I think I'm so used to being on the go that I was always standing up eating. And recently, I even told Isaiah, I said, listen, make sure that when you're eating, Mama has to sit down with you and eat. So it's really been a game changer because now, like, I'm eating all my meals with him. And also, one of the things that works for me, again, I'm not like suggesting this to everybody, is to eliminate snacking. Now, if you're on your feet or you're working in an office or, something where you need snacking, but if you're out or even if you're, matter of fact, if you're not out, if you're home, all day for a certain day, it's probably not in your best interest to keep snacking. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a high activity
Yeah.
day, and you're not going anywhere or burning.
Right.
Like, just stick to your meals. You can make.
Right.
So sitting down and eating with him for meals has changed a lot. And it's funny because I'm so used to like, oh, I can't eat until a certain time. So now that I'm eating breakfast with him, it's like this carries me over. You know, like I'm not starving right now.
Right.
It feels good. And then I'm eating less because it's like everything that I'm eating is so like it's actually fulfilling me as well as like really satisfying the things that my body needs.
So a lot of times when I get lab work, right, and I see that their sugars are high or their cholesterol is high, I ask them what are they eating, because a lot of times it's like a difference from the time before, right? So it's like, what happened? And that is so people really pride themselves, which they should, because honestly, if they didn't eat right throughout the day, they would probably be in worse shape, right? But they pride themselves on eating good, nutritious meals, and then they snack. I'm like, it's the snacking.
Or how about when
snacking.
you get salad and then the salad dressing just ruins the whole thing?
Yeah.
Between the sodium, the fat, the calories, or all the preservatives and
additives
that are in it, you know, you can make your own salad dressing.
You was telling me that.
You never tried it before?
I didn't.
Okay.
So what I will say though, I can have a dry salad. Like if my
meat too, I don't have to have.
If my meat is nicely seasoned, I don't need a lot of salad dressing. I may need a little vinaigrette, maybe, but like I'm not one to like drench because I really like to taste the salad.
Food, exactly.
Yeah. So someone has something that I need to incorporate is to drink while eating. Growing up having to eat first, then drunk has messed me up. So of course I'm not getting full and satisfied as quick because I'm eating home. That's a good point. You know what?
Too, because somebody else was asking, are you supposed to drink with your meals, or are you supposed to drink before your meals or after your meals? So that's a question for Nurse Jazz. I'm waiting for that answer.
So what's interesting, and I'm putting myself out there, y'all. My mom is on the live, so she can definitely vouch for me. So as a kid, I was a pudgy kid, chubby kid, or whatever. They used to make me drink water before eating. And the idea was to be full, to be fuller. So absolutely, you should drink, and it should be water. It shouldn't be any kind of extra like sugary drink, or
is it a certain time frame before you before, because is it a thing that you're not supposed to drink with your meals? Is that a thing?
People do say that. I'm not going to get into like the details of like when you should eat. I mean, drink it in between the meals and all that stuff. But what I will say is that you should not only eat. Like you should definitely drink. And it's not just for like the fullness or anything like that. You really are helping out your body digest this meal. You know what I mean? Like you're hydrating it. If you have salt, you are helping it go down. You know, you're washing it down, like legit. Right. So, and it's going through a whole process of digestion that you need the water. And that's why they said it's good. Like if you are a person that like defecate right after you eat, like you got a good system going, and a lot of times it's because you're hydrated. So that's a good point. Yeah, my parents used to make me drink water before I ate, and that was like a way of like trying to like control my my eating. Yep. So that's interesting that the person that posted this said this, because we grew up together. So it's like we was living in two different households, girl. But the other thing was so just to touch on the fitness part is that you should have 150 minutes of working out a week, and you can incorporate the toning in that time. So for me, I'll speak for myself. I do about 30 minutes. No, I couldn't. They said, well, you couldn't do that at my house. No, I couldn't. I had to wait until after I ate and drink something. Um, so what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I tried to do about maybe like 90 to 100, like 4 days of cardio, like 30-minute cardio. And then the rest of the time is like a lot of toning. The last 2 weeks I have been off because y'all Pisces run my life. And I have been off, but for the most part, it's like it's HIIT exercises. So it's like interval training, and it's a lot of cardio, and it's a lot of like toning as well. So, what's your schedule, Lauren?
Oh, it's part of my work. But there was a time where I literally had classes every day, sometimes multiple classes a day, and my only rest day was Sunday. And then, the pandemic happened. And then a lot of things became virtual, and still even now with like, things freezing and then budgets. And so it's been a lot of inconsistent sometimes teaching. So I have to make sure that I'm still,
Right.
being active. And sometimes that means, okay, we're going to go outside for a walk, especially if it's nice. And even if it's not, there's times it's rainy days, snowy days, freezing days. We're going to bundle up. We're getting outside. We're going walking.
Can I share your story, please?
Which one?
The snow day.
The snow day.
Oh, you forgot about the snow day when you walked to the Croc Center from your house?
Oh, that. Oh, gosh. Please do.
Y'all remember the snow day?
The recent blizzard.
This girl walked. How long does it take?
Probably without snow, it probably would have took about 45 minutes. But with the snow, it took a little over an hour. And this is while it's coming down, while I'm like
determined. I was like, God bless her. I prayed for her the whole time.
And went for a class that was canceled.
That was canceled.
I was the only person that showed up. So the teacher gave me one-on-one training. And that's what started my toning journey though. So it was not in vain.
No, it wasn't. But it was very scary from the side.
It was. And then walked back home as it was still snowing. I mean, like movie blizzard, like.
Put the book bag on.
Right. Got home. So, I mean, you're talking about over an hour there, over an hour back, adding the toning part to it. Oh, that day I said I should be able to eat wherever I want. But because you felt when that high, it's like, but I'm not.
No, that high is definitely real. Like that runner's high, that workout high, that is definitely a thing. What it is endorphins being released in your body. That's the happy chemicals in your body. That's really a thing. I have not gotten to never had a runner's high, but I have had a toning high. I know.
Figures.
Yeah. Or when I do step, I get a high from that because it's a high intensity. So someone said I get a high from a different, my dancing high. I've heard contrasting ideas about drinking water during or after you eat. Honestly, I told my patient.
Always going to be conflicting information with anything.
I told my patient today, I said, I promise you, I said it just like this, Lauren. I said, if you type in, when you look at yellow and it turns orange, I promise you, you're going to find something on the internet that's going to agree with you. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, not saying it doesn't matter, but from a medical standpoint, drinking water to help not dilute, but help wash and like hydrate yourself while your body is literally doing a function. It's almost like it's literally almost like working out. For real. Like it's doing a function. A lot of things have to go right in order for you to digest some food. We take it for granted, but it's a thing, So yeah. And then somebody also asked, does it dilute your gastric juice? Yeah. So Laura know me. I look at the practical sense of stuff. I go deep a little bit But the practical sense of it is that you're hydrating yourself. Like, yes, your gastric juice, like it's things that happen in the body that you probably shouldn't drink a whole gallon of water, because you don't want to, mess up yourself in that way. But I suggest drinking water while you eat or during or before. So, but sis, I think that was it. Did you have anything else to add?
I think we pretty much covered everything. Did anybody else have any more questions?
Just to touch on, we shop at, she shop at.
Where do we shop? Say that part first.
We shop at Aldi.
Number one. I mean, they should sponsor us for this video. That is our.
We shop at Aldi. Aldi has a lot of good buys.
Organic. Or they have a lot of organic options as well as gluten-free. They have a lot of actually gluten-free options that are exclusive for them only, where you can't even find it in other stores, like their granola. But keep on going. The devil.
It's the granola and the popcorn. Okay. Did you ever have it together? I didn't either. Did you ever have it together?
Granola and popcorn together?
It's the salt and sweet. I didn't have it either. I just thought about it when you just said it. Well, anyway, she shops at Whole Foods and for certain things.
Which you taught me that.
For certain things, because I do like their mayonnaise. Their mayonnaise is bomb.
I think mayonnaise is soy free.
I can't get my stuff yet.
I can show it to you right now.
Anyway, but so places that and Wegmans. But I shop at Aldi. I get certain things from ShopRite. I get certain things from like the produce markets if I'm getting an abundance of stuff, but that's not often. And I also shop at Lidl. So that's another market, very similar to Aldi, but those are the places that I shop. And they're reasonable. They have good options. They have fresh produce. Lidl also actually has a bakery. So those are the places that I shop. And Lauren and I share our Aldi and our market buys via video so we can hold each other accountable. So but that was all, man. That was all, birthday girl. I don't want to hold you up for too long now.
Yeah, I think we're good. We covered a lot.
Thank you so much for coming on and joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should do this again if she'll have me.
And I want to invite everybody to my class.
Yes.
I also lead virtual classes for anybody who is interested. Wednesdays at 6:15, and then Friday is the Friday night turn up. If anybody is on a Friday night like me, join me on a virtual dance floor.
Yes, I'm about to post it right now.
My instructor page, which if you go on to the instructor page, it'll give you all my in-person classes as well as virtual classes. So you can see all of that on there. And it's getting nice too. So once it gets nice, we'll be having some outdoor classes soon too. And we will give you that information. If it is requested, Jasmine can disclose that when the time comes.
Yes, I'm about to. Do you mind if I share the link?
Not at all.
Okay. All right.
Of course, I've heard contrasting ideas about drinking water during and after you eat.
All right. Any questions? This was a good live. All right. There we go, girl. All right. It's posted. And it's donations only, right?
Right. So it's nothing required is if you want to give so usually when you pay, they'll give you a student code, but I have the student code posted. So whether you pay or not, you have access to the student code so you can log on. And it's super easy. It's not a Zoom platform, it's the actual Zumba platform. So I mean, Jasmine has taken the classes before, so it's just a matter of signing in with your email, and then at the time of the class, you just go on and you'll see me live dancing. So.
All right, I'm gonna actually post the Cash App as well. All right, but thanks for hanging out with us and the birthday girl.
Thank you.
Yes. Someone said, thanks, ladies. Happy birthday, Lauren. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. I was thinking of Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. Yes, thank you.
I never go there because I don't have one that's close enough, but their prices are really reasonable.
Oh yes, and there it's fun in there. It's fun. The times are Wednesday at 6:30,
6:15,
15,
Friday at 8,
and Friday at 8. Okay. All right, lovelies. Any other questions? You getting all the birthday love on here.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, let's close out now.
Would work for
All right, girl. Have a blessed night. Thanks again for your time. Happy birthday. And we will see y'all later. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye.